For EP, climbing walls and handholds is our business, but that's really not why we're here. We're here to enrich people's lives and introduce climbing to the world. We know that once somebody gets an opportunity to go indoors and climb on a climbing wall, that they're going to be hooked and they're going to be a climber for life.
So good afternoon and welcome back to the coverage here of the IFSC World Youth Championships 2015. We're here live from Arco in Italy, where the sun has been out for most of the day, but I have to say it's got a little bit gloomy, a little bit cloudy, and the potential for rain is quite high. My name's Alan March, alongside me, pro coach and route setter, the wonderful Shane Messer. How you doing, Shane?
I'm doing well.
Turning the mic on, that was the best start you could have made there.
Yeah.
If you want to get involved via Twitter, by the way, you can use the hashtag that's on the right-hand side of our screen, hashtag IFSCWYCH. Let us know where you're watching from. Let us know who you are supporting. If you've got any questions about the route and about the coaching and just about the sport in general, then Shane is pretty much the best person we could have found for you to ask right now, and he's got a bit of a vested interest in this final. We're going to take a look at the start sheets in just a couple of moments, but you were here as part of a coaching team for a couple of the American youngsters.
That's right. I flew over here with Ariana Matthews from Central Rock Gym in Boston, Massachusetts, and then my other vested interest is Kai Leitner, as you can see there on the screen. Yeah. Nerve-wracking.
Well, this will be an interesting one for you then. So there's Leitner just taking a look at the route. Now, that was something that we asked you to do as well, Shane. Tell us what you think about the route that's been set.
Well, you know, coming from America, all these holds here are they're all new to me, as a lot of the competitors have had an opportunity to climb on a lot of these holds over the weekend. They're all pretty new, so it's definitely a challenge for me, just like if I was a competitor. I think the route looks fantastic. It looks challenging. I think it's going to be a real treat to watch kids climb this, and if luckily we get a top on it, it's going to be awesome. So I think for the most part, right here, you'll see these two slopers here. I'm pointing like they can see.
You're pointing. So you're looking at the sort of bottom section, the two blue volumes that are sticking out there.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I see anyone falling before those. They look definitely challenging to grip for sure. As you move past those, I think it starts to get pretty challenging, and then I don't think it really lets up to the top. Even clipping the anchors, everything looks challenging. So I'm really psyched to watch these kids climb this route.
Well, it's interesting that the route setters have decided that after the male youth A section, they're going to address the wall and make any changes. And they weren't they didn't sugarcoat it. It may be made easier depending on how difficult these guys find it. It may be made trickier depending on how easy these guys find it. So that's an interesting outlook. So there is a slight delay to the scheduled start time that we do have. So the lead final for the male juniors was scheduled to start at 5:30 local local time, 17:30. That won't now start before 17:45. And we're going to take a look now, Shane, at the start list for the junior final. That's not the junior final. In fact, that is, of course, the male Youth A final. And Kai, he's got a tough group here.
Yeah, definitely tough. But I've never seen him in a final where the group wasn't tough.
He is indeed the World Youth Champion in the Youth B section from last year. He was also the Pan American Champion in the same section of last year as well. So here's a youngster that certainly on the up, excuse the climbing pun. What do you make of him as a character?
Oh, well, you know, Kai's definitely a young professional these days. You know, I think he's a great representation of the male Youth A in our sport in America. As a kid, I mean, everyone needs to remember, you know, Kai's a kid. He's just as goofy as the rest of them, but, you know, he's definitely a treat to have as an athlete, and I think anyone who's ever worked with him would say the same thing, you know. So I'm just as psyched as I was before I came here. If I wasn't here, I'd be watching this live at home. So,
just to mention for Ashima a little bit earlier on, we saw her competing. What a talent you guys have over there in the States.
What a talent. You know, like I think we're definitely lucky to have her in America. She's definitely a very, very, very talented climber. No matter what age she is, she's definitely like taking the sport to the next level for us. And I think just the sport as a whole, like she's a real treat to work with. She's a great kid. She's a great athlete. You know, I think anyone who has the opportunity to work with her would tell you the same thing. You know, whether they're working with her in a coaching capacity or working with her in a you know, a co-competition atmosphere. I think, yeah, she's a great kid, you know.
Well, she's picked up a gold medal already at this competition. There you can see on the screen all of the IFSC officials. Tim Hatch, the jury president, from Great Britain. And then at the bottom there you can see the chief route setter and the route setters alongside. And as I said, they're going to reassess this after this final. And you will see the medal presentations a little bit later on, as well as a closing ceremony as well. So do stay tuned after the action here has finished. We will have the medal presentations. We're going to try and catch some interviews with some of the gold medalists, as we did yesterday. I'm crossing language barriers everywhere I go. Everywhere I go.
Yeah.
I'm always astonished when people understand me in my own country, let alone trying to interview people from far away. But here is the Youth A finalist again on your screen. We will start with Minyoung Lee from Korea. Stefano Kanati of Italy will come up following that. Vladislav Shevchenko of Russia. Taito Nakagami, also from Japan a little bit later on, will be Yoshiyuki Ogata. Sandwiched in the middle of those is Kai Leitner. Hugo Parmentier of France will go second to last, but the leader coming into the final, Sasha Lehmann, you have to say he only made the semi-finals in the World Youth Championships last year. He only made the semi-finals of the European Championships this year, so maybe a surprise package coming into this final, the 17-year-old. As for the junior final, there's more American interest in that. Jesse Grupper at the top, but he's got some work to do to get anywhere near the podium with that one. And we'll take a look a little bit more closely at the male junior final a little bit later on. If you want to get involved, if you want to send us a tweet, then all you have to do is use the hashtag IFSCWYCH, just like Carl has. Ale Simon Lorenzi, should I say, hashtag IFSCWYCH. All you've got to do is send us a tweet, and we will try and read out the best ones as we go throughout the course of this event. Get yourself settled. The first of our athletes will be out in just a couple of moments' time.
Sì, direi l'ultimo Ci siamo. Vedi. Devo citare dopo I tracciatori. Siamo pronti noi per partire. Ready to start.
Un nostro applauso per il primo finalista. The first finalist for the remaining is Finalists Super team di tracciatori.
Sì, dicevamo super team di tracciatori arrivati da Raini, Austria.
So first of the competitors in this Youth A section on the lead competition here at Arco is the Korean Min Young Lee. Didn't even make the semi-finals last year, so here he is, looking upwards in more ways than one.
Yeah, he must be psyched. Yeah, I'm definitely excited to watch this route.
Now, just remind those at home, you don't get long to check the route out, do you?
No, I think you get like 40 seconds or something before you have to get on the wall.
Okay, and they're kept in isolation before that. Then they come out and do the presentation. It's around about 6 minutes or so, maybe a little bit less, to actually take a look at the wall as a collective group. How do you start to even begin to plan your route?
Well, obviously starting at the bottom is great.
Good idea.
Yeah. It's really important to find all your handholds, all your footholds. It's really important to make sure that you understand the sequence. And the route setters tend to do a great job of coming up with tricky sequences. You know, it's not just the route setter's job to challenge all the athletes physically, but it's also important to challenge them mentally. So a lot of times they'll set routes that are just, you know, pretty tricky and hard to read. So, you know, as an athlete, if you don't know all the handholds, sometimes it can make it infinitely more challenging to understand what the sequence is, because you don't know where the right places to hold are. And so, generally starting at the bottom, just making the hand motions, like going through all the hand motions that you see, finding all the foot motions, the clipping stances. You're really trying to go over like basically all the aspects of the climb before you get on it, because you know, it's important to try to remember these things before you get on.
In a lot of ways, some a bit like a diver at the top of a platform, going through the routine but whilst being stood still. So you're kind of mirroring what you would do, but only up to a certain level, because once you get up there, then it sort of anything goes, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, at a certain point, your mind takes over, and you know, you have to think like, okay, well, I'm doing my best, and I remember seeing from the ground that I'm going to grab this grip, then I'm going to grab this one, then I'm going to grab this one, and sometimes, you know, you read it wrong, and when you get there, you change what you're going to do, and you know.
Is it fair to say that Lee has got a little bit of the touch of the nerves here? We're nearly 2 minutes in by our clock in the bottom right-hand corner, and he's not that far up either, is he?
It's true, but at the same time, a lot of competitors have different approaches to competing. You know, some of these athletes who are seasoned athletes, they really attack the climb. You know, they really go at it. If you watch Andra climb, a lot of times he just goes for it. You know, it's like he's climbed the route before and he's just going at it. And then there's a lot of other athletes who approach it a lot more cautiously, because it's like, you know, this is their one opportunity to make a stance, you know, and make a name for themselves. And so, you know, it's every athlete has their pace, and every athlete has the way that they like to climb.
So we were kind of going through some of the rules and regulations in this morning's session, the predominantly female session of these finals. We're talking about the clips, whereas in the US the clips do take part of the scoring. Here,
yeah,
they don't. Only the holds that you actually manage to get to are part of the scoring. So there was a little confusion via social media this morning, but when we had a tie, that actually went back through the scores of the previous rounds here, rather than the fact that somebody missed one of the hooks.
Yeah.
The clips must be achieved. If you go all the way up, you must make sure you do go through every clip. Every quick draw must have the rope through it. If you miss one, you've just got to come back down and get it again.
That's correct.
And nobody wants to do that.
No, nobody wants to come back down. Yeah, so actually one thing I find interesting is they tend to use a lot of blocker holds here, which is really cool to me. I use a lot of them in the States. Like just under the roof there, they were using a hold to make it more difficult to for that grip. You know, the grip would normally be a bit better, but they eliminate part of it by adding a hold above it. And it also makes it worse as a foot a lot of the times. So I really like that kind of thing.
He's taking his time. He's around about halfway through the 8, but what he doesn't appear to be is struggling. He seems to be doing everything quite slow and methodical. He's getting up there, just starting to shake the arms a little bit more so.
Yeah, for sure. It looks like he has a pretty good stance right now. It looks like he's just got his weight over his feet a bit. I think the wall's a little less steep right there, but it looks like he's about to get moving.
This could be an area where a lot of the guys take a bit of a rest, take a bit of a breather from the arms and just use the weight on the legs.
Yeah, for sure. And this is where I was thinking, like, just after this zone right here, I was thinking that that you'll start to see some athletes sort of come off. And we'll see, you know.
These were the volumes you were talking about a little bit earlier on.
Yeah.
This is the first look at them, and the first person to try and have to get past them is Ming-Young Lee.
It looks like he's doing well, though. I mean, he keeps on moving. I mean, it's impressive to me.
Got to keep moving in some sort of direction. He's going the right way at the moment. 3 minutes remain of this. He hasn't looked at all shaky.
It looks like he's starting to get a little tired. Like, you know, the shakes are getting more common. There he goes.
Just figuring out where to go with his foot next to him. All of a sudden, the movements become a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
Ming-Young Lee.
Yeah, he's definitely moving now.
Well, this is a good first run.
Yeah, he's definitely trying hard, for sure.
And he's still got 2 or so minutes. Just ran out of steam there. Ming-Young Lee, he comes down with a smile on his face, and as I said last year, maybe come down a bit quicker than he wanted to as well, but last year didn't even make the semi-final, so to be first out here, he has held his head very, very high indeed, and comes down. We'll check on the scores of that in just a couple of moments. Yeah, systems here. Just take the odd moment to catch up, but I think he'd be fairly pleased with that as a start.
I think so. I mean, for someone who didn't make the semifinals last year, coming in, and I mean, that's pretty high on the route. And it looks like the holds start to get kind of bad there.
So 36 holds is what he achieved. 36 plus is his score altogether here in this final.
Yeah, I would definitely. I think as an athlete, like, you know, he's obviously made improvements over the last year, and yeah, he looks like he's psyched. Look at his face; he's just like all smiles. And I think as a coach, like, when you have an athlete who comes down and they're all smiles and they're just like, you know they just gave it their best, whether that best was the top or not, like, it's really hard to be upset with your athlete after they came down and they were just like psyched with their performance.
We'll await the next athlete, Stefano Conati of Italy, just 17 years of age. Here he comes. Hands absolutely caked.
And I'm sure the hometown crowd is psyched. The Italians are really, really, really psyched about their athletes.
Absolutely. They had a gold medal to cheer on last night. And the atmosphere here when the Italian anthem was playing was superb. As I said a little bit earlier, the sun has been out most of the day. But all of a sudden, it's just got a little bit cloudy, coming over the mountains in the background that you can see. And maybe a little bit later, they might need a few of those brollies that the locals have got so many of. So this is Stefano Conati. He's pretty much a local. He's from a place called Erba, which is about 60 or 70 kilometres to the west of Arco.
So I'm sure he climbs on this wall actually relatively frequently when the wall's open. I mean, if I lived near here, I would definitely be climbing on this wall, especially if there was a competition coming up. But it's such a historic venue, and you know, it's got a lot really going for it. So, yeah, I would definitely climb here.
A European youth champion as well, this young man. He interestingly came 12th in the 2014 European Youth Championship. So again, amazing what a year makes, a year's worth of training, a year's worth of growing at this age especially.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he's picking up the European Youth Championship.
Yeah, you know, and gaining that experience too, you know, like over the year, just like really learning from your mistakes. I think that's one of the biggest things as an athlete is learning from when you make a mistake. Why did you make that mistake, and trying to correct it in the future, because you know you don't get a second chance on that route. But he looks good. He looks good. He's actually he's moving quite a bit quicker than Lee.
So Konate.
And this is where I was talking about that blocker hold there, right underneath the roof there. They just add that little hole just above that crimp.
Certainly moving quicker than Lee. 6:15 left on the clock. This was your first tricky area that you kind of came up with in your look at the wall?
Yeah, just past here, just at the two blue volumes that are coming up, the two rounded ones. Just after that is where I thought it, from the ground anyway, it looked like it started to get a bit trickier. Yeah, and this is that spot that we thought a lot of the athletes were maybe going to get a bit of a rest, where you get your weight on your feet and the grips don't look too bad. Here they actually look quite positive. Yeah, he looks actually quite comfortable. Nice deep breaths. Yeah, he's definitely not spending a ton of time there, which is great. And he looks good. He looks like he's moving well. Yeah, it looked like Lee was having a difficult time trying to find where to really hold that blue volume where his right hand is now.
Quello di Arco, quello per Stefano Carnati, che adesso si batte, si impenna e stiamo sotto, stiamo dentro, le stringiamo una ad una e andiamo oltre. Dai Stefano, dai bene.
So whilst the clock ticks away, this is exactly the point that Lee left the competition. So immediately, and you can hear the crowd in the background. It's very noticeable when you're up there. You haven't seen what the person in front of you's done, but you can always tell if you've achieved what they've achieved, because the crowd behind you start to get going, don't they? They all of a sudden they make, especially if you're a local, such as Stefano is.
So yeah, he did well. Those holds look like they get pretty bad, pretty open-handed right there.
Bit of a big shake of the head on his way down, Stefano Konate. So the European Youth Champion may well have thought that he could go a lot higher than that.
Yeah, so like right in that zone where he came down, you saw the hand grips. They got quite big and open. A lot of times when I'm setting a competition in America, I tend to put open-handed holds at the top. I try to get separation near the top with open-handed holds, and you know, maybe I'm a little known for that in my area, but it seems to have worked for me in the past. You know, like you just can't bear down like you can on some of those really in-cut crimps, and it's always finding a balance though between like what's too bad and what's just right for someone who's pumped. You know.
If you want to get involved, why not use the hashtag on Twitter, IFSC, WYCH. Let us know where you're watching from. That'd be great. This is Vladislav Shevchenko of Russia, 17-year-old.
Yeah, I'm always really impressed with the Russian climbing team. I mean, not that any of the other teams don't work hard. These guys seem like they work hard, you know. So I always get psyched to watch these guys climb.
We saw Lee start to think about going that way and came back down again. Here, Shevchenko not afraid to go on the left side of that first start. Almost just dangling his left leg at the moment.
Yeah, one thing you notice as the athletes start to come out, the more experienced athletes, so far I think everyone's been pretty experienced and pretty seasoned, but you start to see like who feels really good that day in their confidence level when they're moving. They move like just fluidly. There's not a lot of second guessing, and I really enjoy watching climbers who are just like super confident in their movement, super confident in what they're doing.
Yeah, we had big demonstrations of that with Yanya and Ashima, didn't we, a little bit earlier on. Neither of them showed any fear whatsoever when they got to the top. The only two to top in the competition in the lead this morning's session. Absolutely no fear for their age whatsoever.
Zero. Yeah, they I think a lot of these top athletes, when they're in that zone, like it just doesn't seem like they're even trying. But I guess it's like that in a lot of things, and it's really cool to watch whenever it just clicks and they're just like go 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 go. So yeah, I definitely get psyched to see these confident climbers, these confident, strong climbers just come in and just, make this wall their home and just go for it.
Are there different styles of training depending on each nation? Would the Americans train differently to how the Russians would train, etc., etc.?
I think there are definitely different styles, but there are also definitely things that just work, and a lot of the countries know what just works, And some of these countries, not any of the ones that I've seen so far. There are a few countries who still have quite new climbing programs where they're still learning, what works and what doesn't work. And coming to these events are really important for the growth of the sport in their country. So
we were talking about this with Kyra a little bit earlier on. Sometimes it's just about what fits your body, what shape you can get your body into to use one hold, one volume to get past onto the next hold itself.
Yeah, it's true. I think in some competitions there are some options when you're climbing, and they're thinking about different size people, because in some of the categories the size difference is huge, because it's where kids start to grow. But in these kind of competitions, like a lot of times there's not options. You get what you get. And, one of the big training things we all talk about is just being able to just deal with what you get. And you can't change it. Like you can't focus on the things that you can't change. You can only focus on the things that you have control over.
So at this point, these volumes, they're not going to move at any point. So you've got to get round them. You've got to get over them or round them.
Yeah.
You've got to deal with it. And it's something that Vladislav is contemplating right now. 4:20 on the clock.
Yeah, I'd say he's moving a bit slower than Stefano was. But he looks good. Like, he doesn't look like he's like really struggling at all. Looks like he's in control. Yeah, definitely in control.
Yeah, very measured and purposeful moves there.
Yeah, for sure. And these holds look kind of bad, especially in that way. But he looks strong. He's breathing deep, relaxed. Yeah, he's chilling.
He's just having a rest here, isn't he?
Yeah. But sometimes the indecision, just like not being able to decide, like, okay, this is where I need to put my foot, or this, you can see there's some indecision going on. And like a lot of times that can be, the deal breaker in when you're climbing.
There's a slight hesitancy there, and it's just caused a bit of a wobble.
Yeah. Looks like he got instantly tired right there. He looked really good. Couldn't figure out exactly where to put his foot, and then boom, tired.
Got himself into a sort of lock, didn't he? Was wanted to go one place, but his body wasn't going to move back that way. And as he reached up with the arm, with the hand, that was enough. So slams the rope down, and I think a real element of disappointment. He does indeed wave to the crowd, so not totally lost, but we've seen people drop off and storm off a lot worse than that. But
it's always a pleasure, though, to see these athletes, like the athletes who can be frustrated, but they still take the time to acknowledge that the crowd is there and that they're they put energy into them, and it's cool to see them acknowledge it. So a little bit of showmanship.
Taeto Nakagami, introduced by our announcers outside. Nakagami, a 16-year-old from Fukuoka, semi-finalist in the World Youth Championships at the A level last year.
The Japanese are definitely impressive. I went to a World Cup this past October in Japan, and I was just so impressed with their program. So impressed with these guys, and you know, everyone was super nice to me. And of course, I didn't climb that well, but you know, it happens, I guess.
It's interesting that here in the male section there are 2 athletes from Japan here in this final, and we've got 3 in the junior final a little bit later on. But we've barely seen any in the female section a little bit earlier on. So clearly an area that they're short. Oh yeah, they exist, but it's clearly an area that they're short of young talent at the moment. So potentially an opportunity for other nations to exploit. But here, certainly in the Youth A and junior levels, they've got an abundance.
For sure, and I think I saw that at the World Cup in Inzai this past year. There were just a ton of male A and male junior climbers there, and they're so strong. They just go at it. Look at him. He's 1 minute in, and he's like almost to where the other athletes were at 2 minutes in.
Is there a danger that you can be too quick sometimes? You're not assessing it enough, and you're just going straight at it?
Yeah, of course. But like, if you look at him climb, like he looks pretty confident. He looks like he knows what he wants to do already, and he's made a decision that that's what he's going to do. And sometimes that's what it takes, to just like going for it.
A different approach.
The flexibility. These kids are so flexible. I wish I could go back in time and get more flexible.
You can tell by the facial expressions how much effort that Taeto Nakagami is putting in.
For sure.
So at the beginning, he comes from Fukuoka, which is the northern part of the southern island of Japan.
Yeah, this kid looks fit, you know. This is how I always feel whenever I watch these guys climb. I'm like, they're so fit looking. They climb so quickly, they climb so confidently. It's like they did not travel all the way here to mess around.
No, absolutely, which is what's made a lot of these finals so great to watch. You're not quite sure where it's going to go. So far, these guys pretty even. Shevchenko 35 plus, Min-Young Lee 36 plus, and Stefano Cornati still our leader. He went second with 38. He has the lead. And he's got a long old wait to see if he's going to take a medal.
My left leg's shaking just a little bit. But the kid's trying, he's breathing. He's not going to give up until he can't hold on anymore.
Absolutely.
And these kids fought hard all weekend to get into finals, and I don't know any of those names on that list who are not here to win.
I think the last thing that's going to happen, and it's just not going to happen, is the clock running out on this young man. Oh, he's just overstretched himself. Again, he was trying a different approach there to Stefano Cornati, who was a lot smoother, trying to get himself onto that blue volume at the bottom of the giant red one. The hold there, this time, Nakagami choosing to try and jump towards it. A little wry smile as he's on the ground. He knows he's put a shift in.
He was pumped, man. Like right when he got to the end of that, right before the transition, just see like instantly like, oh no. Yeah, it looks like, but it's one of those kids. Look at him, smile. It's like, man, I was here. I tried really hard.
He's won some plaudits there, and some new fans with his ability, with his style, with his smile. But what he isn't going to do is take a medal by the looks of it from this position. He is in third with 4 gone. The problem he has is there are 4 left. And one of those is a certain Kai Leitner who's getting ready to come out. So tell us all about this young man.
I don't know if I should right now.
Not those bits. Tell us the good bits.
Well, he's just like a great kid, you know. I mean, everyone gets along with him. He's just a great kid. I think everyone at home is watching right now and just, you know, rooting for Kai.
Send us a message if you are indeed watching. You can hear the voice of Kai Leitner's coach, Shane Messer. If you want to send us a message, use Twitter as your platform, hashtag IFSCWYCH. It's on the screen to the right-hand side. It's just underneath the clock. So if you want to send us a message, tell us who you are, where you're watching from, ask us any questions you like. See if we can answer them. But
so one thing about Kai is he's actually huge. He's a tall kid.
I was going to bring that up. Yeah, you look at the sport and there's quite a varying degree of width,
yes,
of heights.
Absolutely.
What's the best to have, or just isn't there one?
I think a little shorter than Kai tends to be a bit better. Kai's like 6'1", I think, at this point. His hands are huge. You know, if he puts his hand over most pro climbers' hand, he can wrap his fingers over the top of theirs. But, you know, that tends to work for him. You know, one thing that he's been able to do over the years is make an adjustment as he grows. So he's been able to grow, or like really train through growing, which is good. So
that shows his level of dedication to the sport as well.
For sure. I mean, he trains a lot, you know. Yeah, he looks good right now. He doesn't look like he doesn't look too nervous. He looks definitely in control. He's a pretty precise climber for the most part. He really likes to know exactly what his body's doing, as any of these, you know, really high-end athletes do. He wants to know exactly what his body's doing, when it's doing it, and
he's also one of the breed of athletes that decides to wear a watch to keep an eye on the time as well. We've been having a bit of a chat about this. Some do and some don't. There's a lot of things that can kind of change in the sport, isn't there?
It's true. One thing I'd like to point out is he did not stop at the same point as the other four athletes.
No, he didn't. He just went on with it.
This is something that he does. Generally, like, I don't know that his body really fit in that position very well. He's a bit bigger. He would have to drop his hips quite a bit more and engage that left foot quite a bit more. And I'm not sure how good the left foot really was. So,
yeah, that's one of the disadvantages of the taller climbers. You're not going to wedge yourself into small positions to give yourself the rest that the smaller ones are. However, you may well have that level of reach that the others don't. He's pulling very nervous faces, is his coach Shane here.
Right.
This is the part, but this is so far. This is the part that you either get past or you don't. So far. Oh, what a slip! And he can't believe it himself. Neither can Shane alongside me. And he is absolutely gutted. Is Kai Leitner. I think he felt he could go a lot further than that. And the Youth B World Youth Champion from last year, the Pan American Champion from last year. Well, disappointment etched on his face as he comes down.
Yeah, he got a bit extended there. He didn't bring his foot up. You know, it's part of the game. You know, just like I was saying earlier, generally he likes to really try to focus on exactly what he's doing and knowing exactly where his body is. And I think maybe he just got out of that zone for a second.
Well, welcome to the sport of climbing. One of the favourites there, coming in with the lowest score so far. That is not what was on the cards for Kai Leitner at the beginning of the day. There you can see it, 35 for Leitner. Unable to just grab hold of the hold above him, which potentially would have taken him above Shevchenko and Nakagawa, but there are three more to go, so scant consolation indeed. So at the moment, with three left, Stefano Canati just needs one of these guys to struggle like the rest of the field, and he'll pick himself up a medal.
That's true.
Starting in seventh, that's not probably what he was expecting, but the European Youth Champions score so far has done him well. Now, this is Yoshiyuki Ogata, 17 years of age. Another that made it into the semi-final stages last year.
I think actually a lot of times I've seen that where an athlete will come out, they're, you know, in the bottom 2, bottom 3, definitely not on paper from the competition, shouldn't really be a real placer, you know, and they come out and they just, like, the adrenaline goes and they just go hard.
That's because sport's not one on paper, is it?
It's not on paper.
Absolutely.
Absolutely not.
That's why the world loves an underdog. Thank you very much to Emma Wilson, who sent her tweet. He said, "Go Kai," and I think I got that just about as he slipped, so it might be your fault, Emma, not to put the pressure on there. Keep your tweets coming. Thank you very much to Danielle as well. I'm busy watching the climbing from South Africa. My boyfriend, unfortunately, didn't make it into the finals, but she just can't stop watching. Brilliant. Well, that's what we like to hear. That's what we like to see. And if you've got a tweet that you want to send us, hashtag IFSCWYCH. I've had to question Shane as to why he doesn't use Twitter. Not sure why he hasn't joined the rest of the world yet, but he says he might one day. Here, Ogata speedily up.
Yeah, I mean, the Japanese really go for it, like I was saying. It looks like he's taking his time in this section a little bit more than the other Japanese kid. But
Nakagama
still,
at this point just had both legs either side of the corner. And,
for sure.
We'll see how his compatriot deals with it. Ogata just relaxing a bit. Our cameraman getting some wonderful shots.
Well, the foliage looks nice this time of year.
It is good
in Arco.
around here.
Yeah.
I said this a little bit earlier. I think it's the most photographed venue I've ever been to in the 10 years I've been doing.
Oh, it's amazing.
Commentary. It's a superb venue.
For sure.
A lot of action happening here in Italy over the course this weekend. Of course, the Italian Grand Prix taking place not too far away from here. Now, just a reassessment there. I think he was going by and realised he'd forgotten his rope for a fraction of a second, but he corrected himself. But you don't want to do that too often, do you? You don't want to go past and keep just nipping back to do something at all. No,
you really want to try to think ahead, but at the same time, sometimes, you know, the best hold to clip from is actually past the clip. So you have to pull less rope. You know, it's a lot less weight to pull whenever you are clipping at your hip versus clipping above your head. Yeah, he looks strong, though. He looks like he's fit right now.
These two are the things we thought might cause the first real problems. They haven't so far. It's the next section that has been the troublemaker.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to tell from the ground how bad these holds are, especially not knowing them. But I would say a lot of the athletes actually use binoculars these days. Yeah, we noted that during the female events a little bit earlier on. Yeah, it's a great opportunity for them to be able to see what they're getting into, you know, before they leave the ground. Really interesting. You can always hear the crowd. They come up a bit here at this very section. You can hear the crowd start to get excited. He's going to try and use both hands on the one hold, and that brings to an end. Yeah, well, actually, what's interesting about that is a lot of the countries, whenever there's multiple athletes from the same country, they'll route read, you know, they'll preview the route together. And the other Japanese kid actually went with the same hand to that grip. So Ogata goes, and that, by my maths, should give Stefano Carnati a medal. I'm just waiting for the official scores to come up on our system, but I think that will give the Italian a medal here. Just waiting for confirmation. But, just two left. Plenty of people in the crowd enjoying themselves. The brollies are starting to go up here. It won't affect the climb. There's a large sheltered area above the wall.
you prefer indoor or outdoor?
Plastic or rock? Is that what you're asking?
Just weather conditions, indoor or outdoor.
I don't know. It's like, it seems like the weather, while it's a little drizzly outside right now, it seems like the weather is actually a lot better than it was at the beginning of the week when it was 90 plus degrees Fahrenheit here.
It's a very hot start to this competition.
I don't like hot weather.
That's all right. Since we flew in on Thursday, it's rained, so that's probably our fault. So,
bringing it from
Hugo Parmentier, a young man who our team share a hotel with the French team, so he was down at breakfast. We had a chat with him the other day. We were talking to him about the potential of climbing becoming an Olympic sport. It's a hot topic, and what's your take on that?
Yeah, it's definitely a hot topic. I think most competitive climbers would definitely love to see it make it to the Olympics. Obviously, I can't speak for everyone, but you know, I would love to see it for the growth of competition climbing. Yeah, I mean, like, it's obviously the next step for competitive climbing, and I would definitely love to see an aspect of the sport into the Olympics. You know, I think, you know, growing up, my dream was always to go to the Olympics for something, and I chose a sport that, I would never be good enough to be able to make it to the Olympics, but also that didn't exist in the Olympics. And yeah, I would definitely love to see it. Love to see some of the up-and-coming kids that I see now, like, you know, make the Olympic team for America and represent them on the biggest stage possible.
You certainly would. Somebody like Ashima, come 2020, if it is included, would be a real hot prospect for the US, but she'd probably then have to try and get past Janja Garnbret as well.
This is true.
That would make for an interesting Olympic Games indeed. Now, Hugo Parmentier, just 17 years of age, has to beat a 38 here, because at the moment Stefano Carnati, despite coming out second, the European Youth Champion, has got himself a medal. Now he's just waiting to see which colour it will be. He's outlasted the next four that went in front of him, including Leitner, Ogata, Nakagama and Shevchenko. So Carnati has himself a medal. What colour will the Italian be taking home back to Erba with him? Parmentier, the bronze medalist at the 2014 European Youth Championships in the same category, came 8th in the recent World Cup in Imst, the Youth World Cup, using his right arm to just about hold everything else up on that wall at that moment. He's fairly swift as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he's definitely moving quickly. Looks like he's read the sequence correctly.
This is a big moment now.
Yeah.
Again, the crowd burst into life. He's just clipping himself on that section now. This big red volume. This is as far as we've been so far. Parmentier looking to go a bit further.
Ooh. That section looks hard.
It looks very hard, and he is not a happy bunny. Arms flailing around in the air. What it will get him is a medal for sure. Parmentier berating himself, whether it be in French, English, or whatever language it is. You can tell by the body language that he's not too impressed that he's come down there. When he finds out that virtually everybody's come down there, he won't be too upset. That should get him past Stefano Carnati, by my reckoning. And, well, the man with the funky shorts makes his way off. And it takes him second. Carnati did indeed get slightly higher. So all of a sudden, the European Youth Champion coming out in second here now finds himself in top spot with just one competitor left. Well, at the beginning, when we saw the 38, Shane, we were like, that'll soon get beat.
Yeah,
whether it's the next guy or the guy after that, it's lasted the test of time here.
Yeah. And that happens sometimes, you know, like, it's definitely happened to me more times than I'd like to say, route setting a competition where I think a section is maybe a bit easier, or maybe not, you know. It's definitely a possibility that the route setters made that section hard to just break it up right off the bat.
So you can see the scoreboard updating in front of your very eyes. And Hugo Parmentier just not able to collect another hold on his route, which means Karnati only needs this young man not to get 38. And the European Youth Champion will add the World Youth Champion title to his collection. This is Sasha Lehmann, semi-finalist in the World Youth last year, semi-finalist in Edinburgh at the European Youths this year, came fourth at the European Youths last year, and has won one of the World Cup youth events on his journey this year so far as well. So kind of an indifferent, if you like, the 17-year-old from Switzerland.
Yeah, I watched him climb in Canada 2 years ago in Victoria, and he was super impressive to watch climb. That was a year that that maybe we thought Kai might have a chance, and he climbed super well. But man, Sasha was like super impressive to watch climb. And the size difference in Kai and Sasha are actually like quite large, quite different. You know, so it's a good example of watching like how being short isn't necessarily always like a bad thing.
We'll soon be finding out whether the route changes do indeed make a change and what sort of change they make for the junior section.
Yeah, I think looking at it from my perspective, I think that it probably, if they were going to make any changes, it would probably be made a bit easier. Because I think the route setters, you know, we always want to see people get near the top. You know, sometimes we don't get tops, but we definitely want to see the route be successful for what it is. I mean, this route does look hard. There are definitely sections that look quite physical.
It's deliberately made that way to test out the ability of these youngsters. Predominantly, most of these guys are 17, a couple of 16-year-olds in Leitner and Nakagami. And again, kind of what we were touching on when Kai Leitner was up on the wall. You kind of forget how young he really is.
Yeah, he's in the bottom of his age group this year. You know, it's... Yeah, I mean, but really, like, 16, 17, these kids are all, like, super talented, or they wouldn't be in this round of competition, absolutely. You know?
So, Lehmann, the last chance for somebody to knock Stefano Karnati off the top of the leaderboard.
This kid looks fit, though. He does look fit. He looks like he's in control.
Well, he was top of the semi-finals, not by much from Parmentier. Been a fairly tight competition, this male Youth A lead.
Yeah, all these top kids are all good. You know, I guess it's like a Youth A World Cup. You know, they're all really, really, really good.
Just stretching out his left hand, thought about going that way, realised there was nothing behind that wall, so change of plan. I think out of all of them, he's struggled the most here.
And he's climbing well.
Yeah, soon got by it. Now these next 6 holds are the important part of this. The next 3 or 4 are key.
Yeah, I wish him luck here. He looks strong.
He's perhaps going to try and do this at a quicker pace to the rest of the field. He needs to go higher to stop Karnati from taking it. You can almost hear the Italians trying to pull Lehmann off this wall here. He needs one more.
He looks fit. Yeah.
Oh, this is good. And that is enough, I think.
Oh, he's doing well.
Oh, and slips down. Well, we'll wait and see the official scores in just a couple of moments. But another youngster that perhaps feels like he could have gone further. But again, that section of wall, the volume, the big red volume sticking out, and the holes round the outside of it like a clock face. And we'll wait for the scores. And in fact, yeah, Lehmann does indeed get 39 so he couldn't have been much tighter. One of the coaches there at the front, all smiles. And he just looked that little bit more confident, didn't he, as he came to that pivotal section?
Yeah, I mean, he definitely kept his feet, kept his hands. I think at that point is when he was like, okay, I need to grip really hard right now. These holds are not very good. It was really impressive, though. I mean, especially after watching the 7 athletes before him sort of struggle in that section. Yeah, I mean, look at that. Look how tight it was.
I was just about to say that doesn't really depict what we've just seen, because there's just 4 holds between the top 8 who have made it into this male Youth A final. That is staggering stuff, and it just goes to show you that one whole section of the wall, well, that was key.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I would definitely say that section, it ramped up real quick right there. But I don't think, I think that the cameras don't really do that section of the wall justice. That wall is steep right there. That's when it kicks back and starts to get all right, I'm about to get inverted here.
Well, Sasha Lehmann, of all of the competitors, has dealt with that the best. Stefano Canati nearly nabbed himself the World Youth Championship gold to go with his Youth Championship goal. Hugo Parmentier coming in with a bronze. Interesting to see that all of those athletes pretty much looked upset that they hadn't gone further in this final. If you want any more information about climbing, you can go to www.ifsc-climbing.org. It's at the bottom of your page. If you want to send us a message, hashtag IFSCWYCH. We're going to have a very small break from commentary. We'll leave the leaderboard on there. And there you can see Switzerland's Sasha Lehmann is the champion.
Sì, qualche istante di break, vi diciamo già grazie perché state ancora qui davanti ad aspettare l'ultimo grande spettacolo di questo mondiale. Noi siamo al riparo, voi siete un pochino più esposti, ma lo sappiamo bene che la passione fa fare questo e altro, quindi grazie a voi perché continuate a restare con noi. Ci sono comunque gli amici di Camp, Cassin, La Sportiva, Saleva e Vibram che vi possono accogliere in questo momento per visitare le ultime novità dei prodotti di questi grandi technical partner che ancora una volta hanno creduto nel mondiale di Arco, e poi sempre aperto il ristoro e il servizio bar, e quindi in questo piccolo break approfittate se non l'avete ancora fatto per mandare quel famoso messaggio che siamo in diretta live streaming sul sito della IFSC, e questa sera per il grande ultimo appuntamento, il Rockmaster Duel live su Rai Sport 2 o in streaming ancora su rai.tv, insieme al bel report completo di tutta questa lunga avventura mondiale, il mondiale giovanile di Arco 2015. Quindi telefoni alla mano, passate parola.
So welcome back to the coverage once again here of the IFSC World Youth Championships 2015. Here live from Arco. Myself, Alan Martin, Shane Messerby on commentary for the men's lead Youth A final. A cracking final won by Sasha Lehmann in the end. The junior final is not scheduled to start until 5:45 local time, so we're going to put a little clock on the screen in a couple of moments. We're going to have a very quick break and we'll be back with you as the athletes are introduced. They'll take a look at the route, which is having some adjustments made to it. How will that play out during the junior lead final? Join us in around about half an hour and we'll all find out.
terminare. Categoria dei più grandi, la categoria junior. 8 atleti come sempre in partenza. Tanto Giappone in questa finale del junior. Tenete duro, voi sappiamo che siete primo con tanta passione, secondo ben equipaggiati, terzo siete il pubblico del mondiale giovanile, quindi di certo non ci lascerete. Restate con noi perché abbiamo ancora 8 grandi campioni da presentare prima e poi andremo a goderci lo spettacolo verso l'anno.
So welcome back to the coverage of the IFSC World Youth Championships here in Arco. And you can see the final set of finalists. It's our last competition of an exciting week. You can see the announcers in the background. That guy in the orange jacket, the lady sat to his right, your left as you looked at it. But here, all the athletes concentrating now. Shane, we saw the action from the Youth A section, and we wondered if some changes would be made. There was an allotted time frame for the route setters to maybe make some adjustments. The crane was straight out, wasn't it? Straight after that youth A final. There was a difficult section. There was only 4 points, 4 holds the difference between all of the contestants. Changes have been made.
Yeah. I went outside for a couple minutes and watched them make some changes. Looks like they worked on the bottom, made the top maybe slightly easier. It'll definitely be interesting to see how these slightly older gentlemen do on this route. I'd definitely like to see a little bit higher.
Well, yeah, we'd all like to see a top. You can see the green circle just about in the middle of your shot right now. Little green circle, and that gives you a kind of idea as to how far you've got to go to get there. The big red circle in the middle of your screen now, that volume, that was the issue, wasn't it?
Well, that area was definitely the issue. There were 4 slopers that looked like kind of like sloper pinches in that section, and they just looked terrible. The first one looked okay. I think a few of the kids clipped off of it. The next one looked slightly worse. The next one looked a bit worse, and then the next one I think looked slightly better, but I think you used a lot of your gas right there on those first 3.
Again, we've discussed this over the course of the weekend and the week leading up to this, but all these athletes quite happy to kind of chat with each other and maybe talk it through. And somebody said on Twitter a little bit earlier on, you kind of rely on each other here.
Yeah, you do. Whenever you're forerunning or whenever you're when you're previewing the route and during the observation period, it's really kind of one of those times when all the athletes come together and work together. Whenever you have a few athletes from the same country, maybe they'll stick together and they'll preview the route together. But the other athletes, it's kind of like they all work together,
As we said a little bit earlier on in commentary, don't get long. They're all taking a look. 3 athletes from Japan here. Kiichiro Kurinaga will go last because he qualified in first position. Yuki Hara will be the penultimate athlete of this competition, and Sergei Baikteyev, all the Russian Federation, sandwiched in between Hara and Narasaki. Tomoa Narasaki to give him his full title. So 3 Japanese climbers here, Shane, inside the top 4 qualifiers. Real strength there.
Definitely a strength. Like I was saying before, whenever I was at the World Cup this past year in Inzai, it was just amazing the numbers that those guys produced, and they were all good. I mean, they're all just like super talented. They just they go hard, they don't give up. And I mean, not that I expect any of these guys to give up, but those Japanese guys, they just come into it confident. They climb fast. They climb like they know what they're doing. And then it's kind of like whenever they fall off, you just don't expect it. They're just off. So,
what can you tell me about Jesse Grouper?
Well, Jesse Grouper is a really, really great kid from the Philly area, I believe, and the Philadelphia area. He recently moved up to Boston, to my area. He's going to go to Tufts University. It's a good university in Boston. Super duper talented climber. He was second at our Open National Championship behind Kai Leitner, and he's a real pleasure to just be around, And I think I'm definitely really fortunate that in my area I have a ton of kids like Jesse that they're all just a real pleasure to be around, So he climbed really well the past few days, and he worked his way into the finals. And I think the U.S. we all think that he's going to represent us well. And
the 18-year-old will be up first, but going early, as we saw in the men's event preceding this, the Stefano Carnati just pipped to a gold medal despite coming in second in the 8. So Grouper can set the benchmark here and see if others can match it. He'll come out first, the 18-year-old Anja Perac of Slovenia will come out after him. Simon Lorenzi of Belgium will come out after that. Bernard Roch of Austria Berhard will come out fourth, and then we do have the trio of Japanese athletes with Sergei Baitev just to break them up slightly. As you can see, the rain is now coming down. Everybody that's got a brolly has got it up. Those that forgot it look a little bit gloomier than the ones that haven't. But plenty of hoods, plenty of plastic bags and bin liners being worn as coats.
Yeah, everyone's definitely trying to stay dry. When I was out there, the rain was coming down. It definitely wasn't a drizzle anymore. And it's crazy here. I mean, I don't spend much time in mountains like these. I live in, I guess, the mountains near me would be hills. But the weather here just changes so quickly, And it's actually pretty unpredictable because last night the weather app on my phone was saying that it was going to be raining all day, and then when I woke up it was sunny, then it rained a little bit, then it was sunny, and then now it's raining. So
yeah, overnight here in Arco they had a wonderful storm, lightning and thunder all rolling through the mountains. This morning we arrived on site, massive puddle at the where you're seeing these spectators, big puddle at the back of there, but that started to dry up as this morning rolled on. So as I said at the beginning, a few changes made to the route. Let's see how that affects it. And if you want to get involved via social media, you can use Twitter, hashtag IFSCWYCH. Send us a tweet. We'll try and read out some of the ones we get throughout the course of this final, which is pretty much what's about to happen. The men's junior lead final, the last piece of action here for our coverage, anyway.
Yeah, I must have missed that storm last night. I think I slept right through it.
Heavy sleeper.
Yeah.
So we await Jesse Gruper and the start of the men junior lead final. Get yourselves ready. So our first competitor is indeed Jesse Gruper of the United States, and again immediately just going through the motions of that early stage.
Yeah, like right when you come out, it's really great to just revisit the climb, just go through the moves one more time in your head, and just make sure you know what you're about to do, especially getting off the ground.
Gruper, first of our 8 finalists in this men's junior lead. Clock on the bottom right of your screen. Gruper with the number 24 dangling off the back of his USA jersey.
You know, one thing I noticed when they were doing their observation period is a lot of these kids look taller than in the last group, and you know, like, I didn't really feel like, especially in America, I don't feel like there's that big of a difference in the heights between the male A's and the male juniors. But here, I felt like most of the finalists are definitely taller.
Yeah, we were talking about Kai Leitner being one of the tallest in the A's. Here, Gruper comes out, and he's already of a very similar build.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how he copes with the section that proved difficult a little bit earlier. It'll be interesting to see what and if any changes have been made.
Yeah, the bottom looks basically, it looks exactly the same.
Yeah, this part didn't prove too difficult for anybody in the A final. And here the announcers in the background trying to stir up the crowd to give some support. What you can just about make out also in the background is plenty of American voices shouting, "Come on, Jesse." A lot of you guys here.
Yeah, they're definitely here. And the kids, just like all the other countries, the kids definitely stick together. It's raining outside, and there's a ton of the athletes that are here supporting Jesse and Kai in the finals, in the rain. So it's definitely a cool feeling to know that, there's so much support coming from America. And I'm sure a ton of people are watching at home.
If you are watching, why not send us a tweet? Let us know where you are watching from. Use the hashtag IFSCWYC8. If you don't use that, we won't see your tweet. I can't follow everybody on the planet. So send us your tweet. We'll try and read it now. This part here was the bit you picked out as maybe the first hurdle for the A final. Didn't cause any problems whatsoever to our A finalists, and Gruper coasting past it as well.
Yeah.
Their ability to use those two holds on the left-hand side with either their fingers or their feet have given them a big advantage on this one.
Yeah, for sure.
They've been able to kind of move to the left and then use a foothold on the right-hand side on the volumes to actually force them up into this next section.
These holds here, they're different. Yeah. So this is where in the last round, or in the male A finals, the holds were a bit worse here. And that hold is definitely better, which is good. Hopefully we'll see a bit more success with the route.
Yeah, might see some more height from these competitors, although Jesse regrouping.
He looks okay though. He looks like he's not struggling too much right now. I think there's a little bit of nerves going on, but I'm not sure how you don't have nerves whenever you're competing in the finals of the World Championship.
Oh, he really is having a rethink. How much would stop me if this sounds ridiculous, but how much would the shadows be a little bit off-putting?
I don't think as a competitor it's messing with you too much. I think he's probably doing fine with them, because you're focusing on the holds a lot more than you're focusing on what's around the holds necessarily.
It's just considering the light that you might try and use to see where your grips are, but here nothing's bothering Jesse Gruper too much. He had a little bit of a regroup below the large red volume, the ball shape, and he's got round that. There's a couple of crimps on there that he's using.
And this is definitely a high point on the route, now that they worked on it a little bit. It's good. I think he's psyched. Hopefully he's psyched.
Can't quite tell from the angle, but you're pretty much upside down in a moment.
It's so steep. If you just actually take a look at the next quick draws, the next quick draws are hanging straight away from the wall. It's a great indication of how steep this wall actually is. I watched the Rock Masters, and I watched the Open World Championship here years ago on the live feed, and you just don't really get a great sense of how steep this wall actually is until you stand underneath it. If you stand underneath it, you really realize, wow, this thing is, it's a roof. It's horizontal at the top.
That's why the floor's dry, because we've got a roof. Gruper is looking to raise that with the crowd. If he can get any further. Oh, yes.
There you go,
a real show of immense strength in the right arm there from Jesse Gruper, and I wonder how many are going to choose that pathway. He hooks on.
He looks good. He's psyched right now for sure.
There is some real strength here, and we were questioning whether anyone would make the top. A big opportunity for Jesse Grouper of the United States of America to lay down the gauntlet, and I'm not sure there are going to be two more that could really make that leap of faith that Jesse did there and stick it.
He's going
for it. First time out here. This is amazing. This is simply stunning. He must clip in here and then get on to the last one. Oh, what a start.
Wow.
What a start from Jesse Grouper. We didn't get anywhere near the top.
Wow.
A slight adjustment to one part here, Shane, and the Americans in the crowd will be absolutely buzzing.
Yeah, for sure. Now, what I will say is I am thrilled that we got an American to the top of this route. It's amazing. From a route setting perspective, I think it's always scary when the first guy out goes to the top, you know. It's easy to quickly think, well, we just made it too easy. But, you know, only time will tell how it actually plays out. But he's psyched. Look at his face.
It will do. It will do indeed.
He definitely couldn't have tried any harder.
No, he put everything in there. I think the leap of faith section there was the pivotal part. How many of those are going to be able to use the height, use the strength? He was virtually holding on with just a set of fingers, for want of a better phrase, at one point, and virtually upside down as well at that point. So that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, what a start. What a start to the final. Jesse Grouper goes to the top. I don't even need to wait for the scoreboard to tell me what happened there. Top is all I needed to know. Now, Anja Pelac would have been in the background. He might not have seen it, but he sure as well would have heard it. He'll know something amazing has happened.
Yeah, that's
and that
sure.
could really unsettle the rest of the field, couldn't it?
Absolutely. It can absolutely do that. I mean, I think everyone in the back probably knows now, well, we need to do something great. Whether they know that he got to the top or not, but they know that he just did something bigger than what happened in the previous round.
The noise level, you can hear the chatter in the background. Everybody's talking about it. Keep your tweets coming.
Yeah, actually, something very similar happened at our Open National Championship back in March, where Jesse actually went really close to the top. He was pretty far down in our list and went really close to the top, and I was a route setter for that event, and we all looked at each other like, well, this route actually might be a bit too easy, and then actually proved to be too hard. We got no tops on it, so
we'll have to wait and see if that is the case. And Carl Yules says, thank you to the co-commentator. That would be you, Shane. The quick draw indicator for steepness is great. So, yeah,
great.
Certainly can.
Yeah, we used to watch a lot of climbing videos and wonder how steep a wall actually was. And someone from my gym actually said, well, if you look at the quick draw, you look at how the chalk bag is hanging off someone, it's like, oh, well, it's actually quite steep.
Soren Carlson suggests he's a super great teammate, being part of hashtag Team PRG. So thank you very much for those tweets that are coming in. A stunning start to our men's junior lead final. That was the last thing we were expecting. We were hoping to see somebody get the word higher, was what was on our lips. Top was, that was well down the pecking order, but Jesse Grouper.
So see, he was actually, it's Enzi, correct?
Anja, yeah.
Anja, yeah. He was actually climbing very quickly to this point. I mean, in the last round, I would say the majority of the kids were actually here at about 2 minutes, and he was here at a minute in.
Kyle Struthers says Jesse with lots of ease in their tweet. Thank you very much to Kyle. Keep those tweets coming. Hashtag IFSCWYCH. Here. This is Anja Pelac. He's Slovenian, 18 years old, comes from Tržić, Slovenia. He was 10th at last year's European Youth Championships in the A category at that point. Slightly a bit older now. And you can already start to see the wall shape, as you were talking about, looking at the quick draws. This next one is that little bit further away from the wall, isn't it now?
Yeah. This wall is definitely not vertical. I know that sounds really stating the obvious, but it's you're really starting to pull a lot more in your upper body through this section. But it looks like they made where his left hand is and the lower right hand. Looks like they made both of those significantly better than in the previous round.
Yeah, that was the area where people were struggling to get a hold themselves. They couldn't get themselves a grip enough to then force themselves up onto the next part.
Yeah.
Here, there's, as you say, there's the danger that they've made an overchange, but we'll see. We're trying to address whether Grupa was great or whether a change was made that was slightly too easy. We'll see that. I think the next part, once you get past this red volume as well, that jump that Jesse made and the strength he showed in his right hand, that could be an acid test as well.
Absolutely. I'm a little biased, but I would say that Jesse definitely did great. It's definitely something that it's going to be interesting to watch and see if they actually did make the route too easy or if it's just right.
Well, Isa Krampel says happy for her little sister Mia Krampel a little bit earlier on, second place here in Arco today. She's blowing her a kiss and says sending love from home in Slovenia. Go on, Anja, who's on the wall right this second, the red tops for the Slovenian team. And this is the big bit. This is now the bit we're wanting to question. Was Grupa great, or can they all produce that? And he's going a slightly different route here. Jesse went kind of round the outside to the right-hand side before making that move.
Well, these two, I watched these two actually, Jesse and Anja, preview the route together. So I think he's probably thinking exactly the same thing Jesse was.
At the moment, they're just using it as a bit of a break, just shaking off the arms. You see the hold on the right of what effectively is a diamond coming out. And there is the jump, and again, able to hold on.
Yeah.
And we might be getting more than one top here. Perac just has to finish off these final few. Oh, dear.
He definitely tried hard, though, you know. And it looks like he's got a smile on his face, it looks like. It's kind of hard to see from that angle.
There was a wry smile as he came down, Piat.
Yeah.
But Piat will look at that, tongue out, to catch a bit of air. But maybe when he has a chat with Jesse Grupa and realises that Grupa got all the way up there, he'll be a little bit more gutted than I think he is at the moment.
Maybe. You know.
So 2 down.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, like sometimes it's really interesting. You have someone come in down low, and the route seems like, oh, this is just going to be way too easy, and then, you know.
Susan Berry says, watching from Glasgow and cheering everybody on. It's a bit sort of Glasgow weather, Susan, if I'm quite honest with you. I spent quite a bit of time there. Shame there's no Brits in the finals, but there's always next year. That's British spirit for you.
There you go.
That's traditional British spirit for you. There's always next year.
Yeah.
And then the year after and the year after.
Yeah.
You never know. Absolutely never know. There are some people in some of these finals who have just come from nowhere. Oh, what they have got to do in this last final of our session here in Arco is come up with what Jesse Grupa did straight at the beginning. This is Belgium's Simon Lorenzi. Lorenzi from Heerwit in Belgium, just 18 years of age. Got a 6th place finish at the Youth World Cup event in Imst in Austria a little bit earlier in the year. There's plenty of chatter in the background you can hear. people very excited at the start of this men's junior lead. Grupa setting the tone. He thought that Piach would get there, just slipping away with very few holes left on his route.
Yeah.
And here, Simon looks very comfortable indeed.
Yeah, I would say, like, you get that close to the top of the route, and it's hard not to feel good, but at the same time, it's like, man, I was that close. I was so close. But like I said, he came down. He had it looked like he had a great smile on his face. And as a coach, like, how would you go to someone and say, like, well, you should be way more upset with yourself?
Jason says, way to go, Jesse. Thank you very much for your tweet, Jason. Carl saying, go, Simon. And Soren is watching from Ithaca. So thank you very much for all of you guys and girls that are sending your tweets in. Keep them coming. Hashtag IFSCWYCH. My name, Alan March, alongside me, Shane Messer, pro coach and route setter back in the States. He was been out here coaching a couple of the guys. One of those was Kai Leitner. And I think Shane, during that A youth lead final, was just as upset and gutted as Kai Leitner was.
Well, it's hard not to be, I suppose.
It certainly is.
All these kids train hard all year. Whenever a coach has a vested interest in them, it's definitely hard not to be upset with and for them. It's definitely a joint venture. It looks like he's gotten to the 2 holds that are. He must not know the next hold's pretty good.
He's spending a lot of time on the one directly above his head, whereas.
That one must be quite inviting.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we refer to that as a jug.
Okay.
In the States, anyway.
Not widely accepted. You can have that.
Yeah.
I'll let you have that one.
Yeah. And he's on the move again, it looks like. Oh, now he realizes, this one's actually pretty good.
That's the one we were waiting for him to get to. So he's had a little look at that. He has realised indeed that that one's nice. But having a think, a real long think. We're up to 4 minutes, but that's nothing.
Looks like he's moving.
We're going to talk in a couple of moments, if he gets there at least, Simon Lorenzi, about a dyno.
Yeah.
He's going to tell us all about it. And it looks like Simon Lorenzi will be given the opportunity. He carries on here. As we were saying a little bit earlier, at this point, he's pretty much upside down.
Yeah, this part of the wall actually gets really, really steep. And I think this angle actually shows a little bit of how steep it is. But man, it's just not really, doesn't do it justice unless you're standing underneath it or you're looking at it from the front.
If you're watching this on a stream, on a TV, wherever you're taking it in from, get yourself to an event, see the sheer volume and the angles that these guys are trying to navigate themselves through. Now, talk to me about a dyno.
So here we noticed in the 2 previous climbers that they just jumped.
A leap of faith.
A leap of faith is what we'll call it. Yeah, and it's basically and here he goes. Oh, that would be a dyno. It's just a pretty large dynamic movement.
It certainly is, and we've seen the 3 of them so far manage it. Now, the thing that Piach didn't do was the next stage, which we felt that he probably would go on from there, but maybe, just maybe, Jesse made it look easier than it is, so we'll have to find out. And again, as you can see from the quick draws, they're pretty much just hanging straight down now.
It's true. This guy is upside down.
Well put.
I don't know how else to put it.
No, absolutely. Back to floor is how he feels at the moment. You can see the quick draws just to the right of where Simon is. Again, that'll give you an indication, and you know what? I'm now beginning to think that Jesse Grupper made the last part of this look exceptionally easy, because now Lorenzi has gone as well. So this competition is going to get good. It's going to go a long time, because most of these guys are using roughly 6 or 7 minutes each to actually get to the latter part. They're all looking like now they should be able to get to the very final stages of this, to the dyno, to the next part on from there. This could go on a long while.
Well, I just wish people could see the smile on my face, not because of how Jesse did, but just like how the route can play out. The route, sometimes, you know, you get an athlete that comes out in 8th place, they go to the top, the route setters go, oh no, it's too easy. And then, you know, the one thing that we can never really factor in is the emotions and the nerves that come into play for an athlete, you know. And obviously the last 2 athletes are completely capable of doing the route just like Jesse did, but
after Jesse Grupper, you said whether the route setters would sit there and think, oh no, it's too easy. I wonder now that Lorenzi has just fallen, they've just looked at each other and gone, I told you it was difficult. Possibly so.
I can definitely say that we've done that a ton in America. Well, I'm not speaking for all route setters in America by any means, but like definitely my team of route setters, we've definitely come together at competitions we put on and said,
tiny bit of worry and then a sigh of relief as a couple of people start to fall away.
Yeah, well, but I've also set routes where everybody's topped it, and what are you going to do?
So people on our Twitter timeline celebrating the fact that Jesse stays in first. But how will that change? We haven't got the official score for Simon Lorenzi just yet. We're hoping to bring you that in a couple of moments. This is Bernard Rock, suitable name for the sport. Yeah. It would seem. 19 years of age. His older sister, Magdalena, a very good senior climber in her own right. Bernard coming in 4th position in the World Cup event in Mitterdorf. And he came 2nd in the Youth World Cup event in Imst as well. 9th at the European Championships. He's reigning world champion, youth world champion.
Yeah, I've definitely heard his name and his sister's name more than once watching climbing competitions over the years. For sure.
Bernard winning last year from Loïc Timmermans of Belgium. Martin Bergen of Slovenia was in 3rd position that day. So Bernhard Rock has to go right to the top if he's going to emulate what he did in 2014. He'd be the first person to emulate what Jesse Grupper did around about 15 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Give or take.
Give or take. But I think Jesse came out and just sort of attacked the route, just kind of went at it, you know. Didn't really second guess a whole lot, just made some decisions and went for it. I'd say almost climbed a little Japanese-ish, which I think we'll see a few of them coming out soon.
Yeah, we've got one of our 3 Japanese athletes coming up towards the end of the round. 3 of the quickest 4 qualifiers coming from Japan. Arasaki will be the first one out, the 19-year-old. Don't know too much about Tomoa Narasaki. So look at the size of the arms on Bernard Rock as he used every inch of his muscle there to come over the underhang, or the overhang, should I say.
I always love watching the Austrian team climb. They just really got it together, you know. It's like their team is great, and everyone there is like so nice. Super talented group of climbers coming from Austria.
So Bernhard getting in to these 2 volumes in the middle of your shot. 2 blue circles. Arco, of course, not situated too far from Lake Garda here in Italy. If you're a geography freak, you like your geography.
Yeah, I think when I was looking at this from the ground, there was not really a ton of chalk on that blue volume, and I couldn't actually see that there was a hold on top of it. I was asking some of the U.S. team kids, like, hey, do you guys know any of these holds? The U.S. team kids who were not competing, and they were saying, oh, I know all of them. I was like, well, I don't know any of them. So yeah, I was not sure if you were just gonna have to hug that thing or what. And I bet he just got a sigh of relief right there grabbing that hold.
Yeah, that's going to become a close friend fairly quickly. So's the next one. It's the sort of hold you send a Christmas card to.
Yeah.
So he's had as we've seen a couple of times here, a lot of these climbers have had a quick look at that one on the left-hand side, realised how good it is, and then they can sort of plan their next part, can't they, from there?
Yeah. It's a great opportunity to stop, take a look at the next section of the climb, and maybe renegotiate what you thought you were going to do, or just go ahead and confirm, like, yep, I was right. This is exactly what I'm going to do.
Rock just going now to the right-hand side of that sphere, sticking out of the wall. Volume that, well, this area caused so many difficulties in the male youth A section of this lead event that just two very subtle changes from the route setters have given us a completely different set of cards to play with, haven't they?
Yeah, I think that's route setting sort of a game sometimes, you know. It's almost like roulette in a way, you know. You just don't know what's going to happen. You have an idea, and all the route setters are obviously super experienced at what they're doing. They've got a ton of experience setting at this level, but you just don't know sometimes what the competitors are really going to be capable of.
Talks about sometimes you just get yourself in a position that's comfortable to you, and it's exactly what Bernard Rock is doing. He's got both his feet on some very small holds, nearly upside down, as we've talked about in this section, and getting ready to perform this next part, which we haven't seen anybody fail at yet.
Well, from a route setting perspective, this isn't the part that you want to see people failing on. It's the part that you want to see people being successful on. Oh, he even missed with his left hand and stayed on.
Yeah, that's exactly what Jesse Grouper did. We wondered about the strength that Grouper showed at that point. And, well...
turns out...
he wasn't the only one.
No.
But now, can Bernard Rock, the reigning World Youth Champion...
he looks strong here.
He does indeed. Can he complete the rest of the course unlike Piak and Lorenzi? And he looks like he might do, you know.
He looks fit. He's definitely trying, though.
Just a few more holds. And another quick draw to deal with. Yep. He's on the top, but he's got to get that quick draw in as well. He has done. Went the other way round to Jesse Grouper. But either way, he completes the course. So our second top. So we're 2 from 4. We're at 50-50, if you like.
So we'll see. I think sometimes as an athlete, you know, you go out, you do your best, you top the route, and I think it can be really frustrating, you know, if you top the route and then a bunch of other people top the route too, you know. It's like an emotional roller coaster for sure.
So that will instantly take Jesse Grouper's smile away a little.
Oh, I don't know. The kid smiles a lot.
It's good that the guys are getting to the top because it's bringing smiles to these faces that are having to stand in the rain an awful lot. So Bernard Rock of Austria, the reigning World Youth Champion, goes to the top of the pile. 4 athletes left. And each time one of these, if they do, gets to the top, they will instantly be the holder of the gold medal.
It's true.
This is the order they came in. Count back through previous rounds. At the moment, Bernhard Rock from Jesse Grupper with half of the contestants left. This one is Tomoe Narasaki of Japan, from Yuto-Nomiya in Japan, 19 years of age.
It's like every hand move you clip, Yeah, he doesn't seem like he's climbing nearly as quickly as some of the other Japanese earlier in the day, but he does look like he's climbing at a consistent pace. It doesn't seem like he's spending a lot of time in one place.
Narasaki getting underway. Remember, if you want to get in touch via social media, you can use the hashtag IFSCWYCH. And of course, you can go to the website for all the information you could possibly need, www.ifsc-climbing.org.
You know, being on this side of the competition, like talking about what's happening, it's definitely one of those experiences that I've always wanted to have, like being able to just describe climbing. I love educating about climbing and trying to bring it, you know, to people who haven't climbed before. So hopefully someone out there said, hey, you should watch this, you know, and people are learning about what's happening, at least finding it interesting, and maybe they'll go to their local climbing gym and try out rock
absolutely,
climbing.
And I think that's the argument for, if we can make this an Olympic sport, how many more people will then turn on and tune in and go, oh, do you know what, I actually like this is great, I didn't know about it, I didn't have any exposure to it, where's my nearest climbing centre, how can I get started? Those are all the questions that, again, we've just given the website address out, and that's the sort of thing you can find out. But if you don't even know it exists, a bit like a lot of the sports, you know, you tend to turn on during the Olympic Games, during the Paralympic Games as well, and you see sports such as bocce in the Paralympics, and you think, I didn't know anything about that, and all of a sudden you get to learn to love it. Here, this is something that is fairly new to me, but it's certainly something that I can already embrace. I can already see a value to it, and I can already understand the argument of making it an Olympic sport. Here, not wanting to have an argument with this volume, is Tomoe Narasaki. Oh, a little wobble. We haven't seen one of those at this section, and he's going at it a little bit differently.
He is, definitely is, but for him, some of these holds are pretty good. He does look a little tired, but you know, these Japanese, one thing they don't stop doing is fighting. They just fight to the top.
Managed to grab hold of the dangling quick draw there. He's just having a bit of a struggle here.
That's a frustrating thing, is when you can't make that clip.
Yeah.
It takes so much energy to just do that, to make the clip whenever you're exhausted.
Now, a bit like Bernhard Rock a moment ago, he's got himself into that sort of leg spread eagle position. Sort of hamstring stretch, if you like.
Yeah.
Well, the first of the 5 not to complete that jump.
He definitely did look tired, and maybe missing or bobbling that clip was definitely something that, you know, mentally got to him, also physically got to him, made him a little tired, but you know, he went hard. He definitely didn't just let go.
No, absolutely. I think something like that at that late stage, when you can see the finishing line, for want of a better phrase, when you can see the top and you think, no, I'm nearly there, and then all of a sudden to start struggling with a quick draw, mentally that can play havoc. It's just a small thing, but it really can.
Yeah, for sure.
Tomoe Narasaki wanders off. He'll go straight to the bottom of the leaderboard. 44 plus, the first time we've seen that. So at the moment, Jesse Grupper with 3 to go. hanging on to a medal. How much longer can he hang on? Now, the one and only Russian finalist in this men's junior lead competition, Sergei Baikteev. So coming up to the first minute for Sergei.
Yeah, he's definitely climbing really static, really in control. I would say, like, compared to some of the other athletes, a bit slow. But like we were saying earlier, stylistically, like, that just may be the way that he climbs all the time, you know? That's just how he feels comfortable.
Yeah, when the scores are tallied up and when the results come in, actually, that time is only a guide for you to be able to get up there.
Yeah.
It is an important, and we must stress that for those people watching, when they touch the top, when they get to the top, if they're not the quickest, so be it.
Yeah.
We mentioned a storm last night. I hope you've got more than just this t-shirt you wear in Shane, flexing your muscles in our commentary box. Just because the rest of us aren't built like that. But I hope you've got a coat as well, because we've just seen a bit of thunder and lightning in the background. Maybe it's on its way again.
If any of my friends are watching this, they're going to find that very amusing, actually.
Hashtag IFSC WYCH. If you want to send a message, perhaps you know Shane Messer, get in touch with him. And again, the slow and methodical approach, nothing wrong with it here for Sergei Baikteev.
Just as long as he's got enough energy to keep doing that.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's the only sort of deciding factor about taking your time, is the longer you're on the wall, the more time you get. However, as you said, he has a style. Surely he then trains for that style. He'll train to be on that wall a lot longer. 7th at last year's European Youth Championships, that being, and actually came 2nd in the Youth World Cup event in Mitterdorf in August. 18-year-old from Kaliningrad.
He's 3 minutes down already.
And he hasn't got to any of the favourite waiting holes just yet.
No.
I don't know how much time he'll wait there. He's heading towards halfway, just precariously dangling his left leg behind his right leg and just pushing against one of the pieces of the wall that came out at a different angle. Again, different styles, different ways, different techniques.
Correct.
Here he's found
the good holds.
He's found the gift. We'll hold on to that in a moment. That's in the one. You can see him nodding. Yes, that's a good one. That's the one that people have used to give themselves the leverage to start coming up the right-hand side of this volume. You can probably hear just in the background, that's the sound of the rain hitting the deck at the moment. A slight tap.
I'm not sure I really want to go outside again.
Staying here with me. Now, Sergei whilst it's slow, is indeed making his way up there. A big stretch with the right arm enables him to just put the left leg out onto that crimp and just start to push himself up. And again, this is where we start to see those quick draws really just dangling down, that one just about in his face for a couple of seconds. And this is where we saw Narasaki have a bit of a struggle. He made a bit of a mess of this with the clip, and it seemed to put him off when it came to this jump.
So one thing that'll be interesting is he's climbed very slow, methodically, and static the whole way. And
here he gets ready.
And
forced
just
to
one-handed.
And this is a completely different style. We've seen somebody holding on with one hand. Has he realised there's one on that side? He's holding onto it with his foot instead. And again, it might be different. It might be slower. Eventually he moves to using both of the holds either side, and then realising he can wedge his foot just underneath. We saw Bernhard Rock do that.
Yeah, so like a lot of climbers who climb slow and statically, a lot of times have more of a challenge when it comes to dynamic movement. And yeah, he definitely just went for it. It looked like definitely a hold you can just hold with one hand, obviously, right?
He's showing his strength here. As we said, this section is pretty much upside down. So every time you see him just using the one hand.
He's spending a lot of time here, though. A lot of time where he looks like he's having to work really hard to get the body positions. And I think the route setters think about this a lot of the times. Like, the holds are definitely good, but he looks a little bit gassed right now.
Yeah, the tank might not have too much left in this here, which is great news for Jesse Krupa. Great news for Bernhard Rock. How much further is Sergei Baitev going to go? He's got 1.5 minutes left, and just maybe the clock might be his enemy here. Stretching out that right leg. Got himself a bit of a hold. Doesn't look comfortable again here. Oh, and he was always in danger of running out of steam, and that is exactly what he's done. Well, we said it wasn't a problem to be slow and methodical. It proved to be in the end. He was just that little bit too long on that wall, and the energy levels just started to go. And right at the end there, he leaves Jesse Krupa on the podium with just 2 more to go. Nervy times for the young American. So Bernhard Rock, Jesse Krupa, the two that have got to the top, and I know Shane was conscious that once Jesse Krupa had got there, that might be opening the floodgates literally, but it hasn't. Just Bernhard Rock has managed to complete the journey as well. So Krupa just needs one of these two not to reach the top, and he gets himself a medal.
It's true. But I think in the spirit of competition, of course we want to see everyone do as well as they can. I'd love to see the American on the podium.
I was going to say, buried in all of us is that want to win for somebody in particular. So Yuki Hada, you can see in the background and in the foreground, because of the camera positions, it is coming down.
It is definitely raining outside.
It is definitely coming down.
Well,
Lake Garda is getting a top up.
I'm definitely going to just reconfirm my statement. I'm just going to stay here.
Yeah, why not?
Right where I am.
You should stay where you are as well. If you've got anything to tell us where you're watching from, who you're supporting, then you can take to our Twitter timeline, which is #IFSCWYCH. Just a few letters from the English alphabet. It's IFSCWYCH. If you want to send us a tweet, then You can still, again, in the background, just hear the sound of the rain absolutely landing hard on all the areas around our camera equipment and microphones. And it's the first overhang of the route.
Yuki's looking a little shaky right there, just before the that last volume, right at the volume there. So you see, and he's not climbing quite as quick as some of the other Japanese climbers.
Oh, slowed it down somewhat.
For sure, but he does look like he's trying. Very focused.
So if you just avert your eyes from the look at this. There's a girl here right in the middle with a black and white t-shirt on who hasn't got a brolly, hasn't got a coat, seriously, hasn't got a weather app on her phone. That's what she hasn't got. Wow. Well, she's about as committed to this sport as this young man is now. Yuki Hara, that is commitment in the crowd, and Yuki Hara trying to show his commitment on the wall here.
And the people are psyched to be here, though.
Why not?
It only happens once a year.
The 18-year-old from Kasukabe, a finalist in the World Youth Championships in the Youth A section last year.
He's also climbing quite slow. This is where Sergey was at about the same amount of time. So we'll see if it proves to be, beneficial or not for this climber.
Just getting his feet tangled in the rope momentarily.
And the gift.
He's nearly there. That one's a gift. The other one's a bit more wrapped up. He's found it.
He's definitely psyched right now, though. He's like, oh, thank goodness for these.
It is that one hold in this route here seems to be like that their own little bit of heaven.
Yeah.
Once you get there, and again, sometimes you find a hold that's difficult. If you were here for watching the Youth A final, you'll know full well that has been changed, because the guys in the Youth A final, they certainly weren't calling it a gift.
No, they weren't.
Anything but.
No, sometimes I wonder, as my job as a route setter, when I'm competing and I get to holds like these, I say, I think I've thought this before, I wonder if they did this on purpose or if they were just trying to be nice or what. But as a competitor, you're definitely never going to say, man, I wish they didn't put these holds here.
I was going to say, Yuki Hara just looked down at the ground. I don't know whether he was trying to look for one of the route setters just to say thank you, but he's going on. He's a little bit quicker than Sergei Biktiev, because as he comes to the moment where he'll need a dyno to get across, and he's certainly a little bit more ahead.
I think that tends to happen also whenever you start to get tired. You start to realize, well, I have two options. I can stop or I can just fire for the top, And I think they know that these holds on this volume are quite good. So I think there might be some hope that you'll be able to get a lot back once you get to that volume.
Yuki trying to rest a little bit differently. Here he goes. Oh, and he can't hang on either, and that means it is a medal for Jesse Grupper. That moment there gives the American a minimum bronze. And at the moment, despite having three of the quickest and best climbers from the qualification rounds in this final, Japanese athletes have got the potential of walking away with just one medal here at the moment. And that's only if Kiichiro Korinaga can do a bit more than his teammates have just done.
Well, this is what I was saying in the beginning. It's crazy, You see the number 8th person come out and top the route. And you just think, well, we're going to have 7 more tops. And you end up with 2 so far.
Absolutely. We saw Kanati picking up a medal in the Youth A event, he went second. And the European champion managed to get himself a medal. Well, Jesse Grupper came out first, an amended wall, and it got us all worried. We all thought it was going to be too easy. But it has not been. Just himself and Bernard Rock have got to the top. One more to go. We are waiting for the confirmation of one more score, and Philippe Lemieux, we can tell you that we don't have it here. Can anyone confirm Simon Lorenzi's score? No, we can't, is the answer. I can't tell you why either. We don't know. Not just yet. Hopefully we can bring that to you as soon as possible. Hopefully it'll stop raining, so they're both in the same category at the moment. So, Kiyochiro Korinaga, 19-year-old, finished in 14th last year. And here he is leading out the group.
Yeah. You know, you just come in, get psyched, try hard. These are all pretty generalized statements, but they're all true, you know?
Am I right in thinking he's the first we've seen in full trousers?
Yes.
Any big difference there?
Well, I think these are special trousers.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to wear them to the office. But,
I think there's a harness in there. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, when I was outside just a little while ago, it definitely wasn't cold, but it wasn't hot. So, I mean, I'm wearing pants today, and they look like a traffic cone, but it's okay.
Yeah, for those of you at home, Shane does have a green t-shirt and slightly red trousers, and looks a bit like an elf at Christmas. But, that's his look.
Oh my! I'm definitely not doing this again.
Another clip successful for Korinaga, the 19-year-old, the final athlete to take to the wall here in the 2015 World Youth Championships. A final chance for this crowd to cheer on some of the world's best youngsters, and they've been showing why they're the world's best youngsters. They really have some real feats of agility, strength, composure. Just a smidgen of the things you need to be a world-class athlete.
Yeah, for sure. You know, and again, I think in the juniors category, the Japanese climbers didn't really climb as quickly as some of the A boys. But, you know, again, stylistically, I think it's been proven for the most part that when you climb a little quicker, you tend to have a bit more energy, especially on these kind of routes that can be progressive, you know. They can be a little harder near the top than they are at the bottom.
Interestingly, Korinaga probably made that one section look the hardest we've seen of the two rounds.
Yeah, I'm not actually sure why he went up with his left hand first.
No, very different. But again, you walk up, you don't get too long to look at it. If that's how he's assessed it, if that's how he felt it was going to do as he got to it, then he goes for it. Soren Carlson, I don't know whether he's talking about this young man's trousers or yours. It just says #fashion. So,
they're both stylish, I suppose. Although I would say, like I said today, I don't feel weird walking around Europe in bright orange pants.
Embrace it, brother. Embrace it.
In Boston, people give me the looks.
Korinaga, the final athlete with the potential to prevent Bernard Rock retaining his World Youth title. When you saw Rock down in fifth, you didn't count him out because of the ability he already has. But you did wonder, when he and Jesse Grouper had already got to the top inside the first four, whether he would be having the opportunity to maintain his title. But this route has caused a few more problems in different areas than we expected towards the end.
He does look strong still. There's a lot of second guessing going on while he's climbing, just like not sure if I should put my foot here, if I should put my hand here, but he still looks super strong. Really composed still.
Quick shake of the left hand there before he grabbed hold of the rope to set himself, and very quick in this area, and that might cost him. Not many people have put their toes on that hold, and in fact, yeah, he's straight back down.
I think he's wondering how much time is left.
Yeah, he's just shouting down or looking down, getting some instruction. And he looked comfortable. As you said, he has done a lot of moving from side to side in various areas, but he's probably looked the most comfortable of the last few guys that we've seen.
For sure.
Here he goes then.
Yeah, I definitely wish him luck on this part of the route, for sure.
3 minutes remain. That's plenty enough time.
Plenty of time.
He's probably the shortest of most, or one of the shortest of these competitors that we've seen here in this junior final. So how that'll affect him here in this next section as he comes towards the dyno part.
And I have to wonder, like, you know, coming in first, getting to that dyno and wondering, well, you know, I obviously can't read his mind, but I wonder if he's thinking like, oh man, this is make it or break it right here. Hopefully he's thinking go big or go home.
Yeah, well, he's got to the exact position that everybody else has just about managed to get to here in this men's junior league final. One big leap for him to get, and as we've seen on that volume at the top of your screen, that one there right in the middle now, there is a hold on either side, and if you've assessed that, you'll know it. A couple of the guys have managed to hang on with just the one hand, and that's exactly what Jesse Grouper did. He knew the one was there on the left, just didn't get it first time, and well, Corinaga, he's looking to do something different here.
Oh,
he just got hold of it. Now he's got less than 2 minutes to. Oh, look at this!
He's a figure four.
Actually turning himself around here. He's defying gravity.
I love figure fours.
Amazing. Now he's got 140 to get himself off that volume, over another, and up towards the top.
He looks strong still.
He does look indeed strong. How much time does he need?
My hands are just sweating.
Yeah, I'm literally holding myself here. The nerves are kicking in for everybody.
Sure. And he's the last climber.
Absolutely. Bernhard Rock, you don't wish ill of anybody, but I'm sure he's thinking, come on, clock, tick away. Now.
He's so strong.
Just a few holds to go, but we've seen a couple of guys get to this stage. He's trying to twist around. He's got 65 seconds remaining. This is tense.
Oh, my
Real
goodness.
tense.
This is really impressive.
Corinaga. Oh, right at the end. There were literally 3 holds left for Kiichiro Corinaga. And it was just 3 holds too many.
Oh, goodness. I thought for sure he was going to be able to pull it off.
Well, I think the entire room here that is our broadcast team feel so much here for Kiichiro Corinaga, and he is, yeah, quite rightly so. He's absolutely shattered. He took his time. There was around about 40 seconds or so left on the clock there. It was probably enough for him to go those final few holds. He just ran out of steam, just couldn't, and he's just said to the guy, how close was I? And, well, third should be the right answer. In fact, it is. The final score for Simon Lorenzi was 52, by the way. He would have had a medal had Corinaga gone 2 holds before that. But he hasn't. Kiichiro Corinaga snaps up the bronze medal. So close. Jesse Grouper set the tone for an exciting final in the men's junior lead section. A wonderful top right off the bat, but Bernhard Rock also getting to the top, and by virtue of his positions in the earlier rounds, the 19-year-old Austrian takes the title. The rain continues to pour, but there's a pot of gold medals at the end of the rainbow, and Bernhard Rock has one of those. What a wonderful, wonderful image to close out the action on. Sunshine and rain. And quality climbing to go with it. Well, people are sticking around. Few of them will head for the exits, and understandably, because of the conditions. But people are sticking around. We'll be back very shortly, hopefully. We'll have the medal presentations. But from Shane Messer, thank you very much for joining us here.
Yeah, no problem. It was a blast.
He's off to a shop to buy some clothes. We'll be back with you for the medal ceremonies in just a couple of minutes' time. Tomeo Nagasaki there, 44. Yuki Hara, 44. Andrzej Pihak in 6th position. Sergei Bideyev in 5th there. 4th, Simon Lorenzi on 52. gutting towards the end there. It took a while for us to get his final and official score, but it kicked in right towards the end, just moments before Ghiacchino Corinaga slipped with just 3 more holds from what we could see to go. Jesse Grupa, a stunning top from him. The 18-year-old takes away a silver medal from these World Youth Championships, but Bernhard Roth defends his title. We'll be back with you in a couple of minutes. So a nice moment here. Every nation being represented at these championships are now out in front of us with a flag. And what they're also wearing is one of the CAC t-shirts that you might see if you're a climbing spectator. Normally, you'll see plenty of the CAC flags and t-shirts and banners and logos knocking about at various climbing events. That's because that belongs to the charity Climbing Against Cancer, and there's a bit of a presentation taking place at the moment. So we'll leave our cameras running so you can take in the presentation. We will indeed be back a little bit later on. Holding the American flag is the lady that joined us earlier. That was Kyra Conley of the US. She's been chosen to wear the CAC t-shirt and hold the US flag. So as I said, a representative from all the nations that are competing here, taking part in this. Commentary will be back in a couple of minutes.
Against cancer. And here on my left, I think we have someone who has taught us over the years how to live. John Ellison is the founder of Climbers Against Cancer. John Ellison is an honorary member of the IFSC. John Ellison has been a teacher for all of us in the last years. Ladies and gentlemen, a hero of our days, John Ellison.
I guess I should start by saying thank you very much. It's a shame we have the weather, but we've got a beautiful rainbow. So maybe that is a sign of CAC. But yeah, the real message behind this is a message of hope and a message of love and a message of strength in adversity, because obviously my own situation is very adverse. But everybody from the young children here that you see on the bearing the flags, they've all got the ability to be strong and to make a difference. And I think through Climbers Against Cancer, we can definitely make a difference. We're spreading across the world. We've sold T-shirts all over the world, as you can see. And it's really fantastic just to see the growth of the charity. So all I can say is thank you very much. And hopefully you guys will keep this charity going for many, many years to come. So from me, I'll pass it over to Alfredo. He's from Mexico. And he will mention a little bit about where the money is going to.
I want to thank to Climbers Against Cancer for this important donation. I would like to express my deep gratitude to the men who make this help possible. This help is going to the University of Sonora in the north of Mexico. Thank you, John. Thank you, Marco, Debbie. Thank you, climbers from all over the world. Thank you, Climbers Against Cancer. Thank you very much.
And so in closing, Debbie Garrett, I am the Secretary General of the IFSC, and I'm a cancer survivor. I am so proud that we are aligning with this amazing charity. And what I'd like to do is to ask John, how much money has been raised from CAC?
Okay, so in 2.5 years, with the sale of somewhere in the region of 25,000 T-shirts, we've raised also somewhere in the region of 500,000 euros. So this is the yeah, this is the 9th donation, which will take the donations in euros to maybe 130,000 euros in 2.5 years. And we're already planning for the next donations later on this year and into next year. So hopefully, like I say, you'll see many more checks like this, and we'll be helping many more cancer sufferers around the world.
Thank you so much, John. We'll continue. Bye.
And here with the representative of the International Federation of Sport Climbing, John Ellison, Alfredo Velasquez, the chairman of the Mexican Federation, with the fantastic rainbow on the sky, another rainbow here with all the colors, all the nations, all the colors of the Climbers Against Cancer T-shirts. That means something. That means really something. That's hope. That's also work, because hope enough, only hope is not enough. We have to do something, and we are doing something. Thank you to John Ellison, thank you to the IFSC, thank you to all the climbers who are wearing this t-shirt. That means really something, vuol dire veramente qualche cosa. Questo arcobaleno vuol dire speranza, speranza ne abbiamo tanta, ma la speranza non basta, bisogna tirarsi sulle maniche, fare qualche cosa, e la IFSC sta facendo qualcosa, John Ellison sta facendo qualcosa, tutti insieme ce la possiamo fare. All together we can do it. Okay, thank you. Thank you again. Thank you to John Ellison. Thank you to the IFSC. And we are going on working, hoping and working. Thank you again, and thank you to the Rainbow VF there up and to the Rainbow VF here. Now some minutes for us to prepare our podium and everything for the award ceremony, for the closing ceremony of the European Youth Championship. Some minutes for us. Stay with us.
Town. Everybody is trying to get down to the
My lover's got no money, he's got his strong beliefs. My lover's got no power, he's got his strong beliefs. My lover's got no fame, he's got his strong beliefs. My lover's got no money, he's got his strong beliefs. One more and more.
Bernard Boca, please join us. Bernard Boca, please join us.
What he's looking for. One more and more. People just want more and more freedom and love. What he's looking for. Freed from desire. Mind and senses purified. Freed from desire. Mind and senses purified. Freed from desire. Mind and senses purified. Freed from desire.
to be awarding for the Lead World Youth Championship and for the combined ranking. Please join us behind the lead structure. All the athletes to be awarded for the Lead World Championship and for the combined ranking. Please join us behind the climbing structure. The climbers to be awarded for category Youth A and Youth B. Please join us behind the climbing structure, behind the lead climbing structure. Ashima, Shirayashi, Mia Trump, Laura Rogora, Avetsu Peters, Biagini, Garmbret, Hayes, Tajima, Lehmann, Carnati, Parmentier, Verhoeven, Pils, Chanudi, Rock, Grupper, Korenaga. Please join us for the awarding ceremony. And also the athlete of the combined ranking, please join us. And we are ready for the official awarding ceremony of the World Youth Championship of sport climbing with the first category, female youth B leader. We invite you to welcome the athletes of this category. On the third place, Italia. Italy, Laura Rogora. The bronze medal for the third place of Laura Rogola. Handed over by Marco Maria Scolaris, chairman of the International Federation of Sport Climbing. On the second place, Slovenia, Mia Krampel. Silver medal for Mia Krampel. On the first place, winner, USA, Ashima Shiraishi. The gold medal for Ashima Shiraishi is handed over by Marco Maria Scolaris, chairman of the International Federation of Sport Climbing. For all climbers of this podium, also the mascot of the World Youth Championship 2015, the little bear Tino, handed over by the chairman of the regional representative of the Olympic Committee. And for Ashima Shirayashi, World Youth Champion 2015, female youth B-List, the trophy handed over by Maria Luisa Tavernini, representative of the municipality of Arco. And now, the rising of the flags and the USA national anthem. Mia Krampel, World Champion, Ashima Shiraishi. Okay, thank you. we are ready to welcome the category Male Youth B of the Lead World Youth Championship. On the third place for Italy, Pietro Biagini. Marco Maria Scolaris presenting the bronze medal to Pietro Biagini. On the second place from Belgium, Harold Peters. The silver medal for Harold Peters. And the winner from France, Sam Avezou. The gold medal for Sam Avezou for our three competitors of this category. Also the mascot Tino of the World Youth Championship, presented by Ariano Amici, the chairman of the Italian Sport Climbing Federation. And for Sam Avezou, winner of this category, World Youth Champion 2015, the trophy presented by Maria Luisa Tavernini, Town Councillor of Arco. And now, the rising of the flags and the French national anthem. Harold Peters e Sam Avezou.
congratulations and good luck. There's many, many more competitions. I'm sure you're going to end up with a gold medal from.
On the second place from USA, Margot Hayes. And the winner awarded with the gold medal from Slovenia, Janja Garnbret. Marco Maria Skolaris awarding with the medals, also this category, and with the gold medal, Janja Garnbret. And now the mascot of the World Youth Championship 2015 in Arco, Stefano Miori. Representing the municipality of Arco with the mascot also for the female youth A lead category. And for the world champion of the category youth A female lead, Janja Garnbret, the trophy handed over by Ariano Amici, chairman of the Italian Federation of Sport Climbing. And now, the rising of the flags and the Slovenian national anthem. Aika Tajima, Margot Hayes, Janja Garnbret. Thank you. Now we are ready to award the next category. So please welcome the category Male Youth A for the lead championship. On the third place for France, Hugo Parmentier. The bronze medal for Hugo Parmentier. On the second place, Italy, Stefano Carnati. And the winner, Swiss, Sasha Lehmann. Gold medal for Sasha Lehmann, presented by the chairman of the International Federation of Sport Climbing. For our 3 winners of this category, also the mascot Tino, presented by Stefano Miori, town councillor of Arco. And for Sasha Lehmann, World Youth Champion in this category, also the trophy presented by Maria Luisa Tavernini. And now, the rising of the flags and the Swiss national anthem. Stefano Carnati, Sasha Lehmann.
Thank you. So, Anya, you were World Youth Champion in 2014, 2015, you've done it again.
Yeah, sure. My main goal this year was to defend my World Youth Champion title, and it happened, so I'm really happy with my climbing, with my performance all the time in Arco. So I was expecting podium, but I don't know, first place, yeah, it was really hard, so...
Absolutely, and you're having a wonderful 2015. What's next?
What's next? This year, Adidas Rockstars and La Sportiva Legends, and then Kran and some national competitions. So next year, all of them, I think, all World Cups. So really excited.
Watch out, world. Yanya's coming. Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
The second place, Austria, Jessica Italian Sport Climbing Federation. And now, the rising of the flags and the national anthem of Belgium. Di Jessica Pilz, World Champion, Anna Verhoeven. Thank you. We invite again the climbers to be awarded for the combined ranking to join us behind the lead climbing structure. Thank you. And now we welcome the winners, the podium of the male juniors category for the lead world championship. On the third place, Japan, Keiichiro Korenaga. The bronze medal for the third place of the Japanese climber Keiichiro Korenaga, handed over by Marco Maria Scolaris. On the second place, USA, Jess Grapper. Silver medal for Jess Grapper. And the winner, the gold medal, Austria, Bernhard Röcker. Marco Maria Scolaris presenting the gold medal to Bernhard Röcker. And now also for this podium, the mascot Tino. Stefano Miori, town councillor of Arco, awarding with this souvenir of this fantastic Youth World Championship 2015. And for the world champion, Bernhard Röcker, Austria, also the trophy. the rising of the flags and the Austrian national anthem. Japan with Keiichiro Korenaga, USA with Jess Grapper, Austria Bernhard Rocca. Thank you. And now we start with the awarding of the combined ranking of this World Youth Championship 2015. Beginning with the category Youth B Female. On the third place, Italy, Laura Rogora. Combined track of the category Youth B Female, the bronze medal for Laura Rogora. On the second place, from USA, Brooke Rabutu. Silver medal for Brooke Rabutu. And the winner of the combined ranking for category B Female, Russia, Elena Krasovskaya. Gold medal for Elena Krasovskaya, presented by Marco Maria Scolaris. Also for the podium of the combined ranking, the mascot Tino. Our little beer will bring luck to you also for the next competitions. For Laura Logora, for Brooke Rabutu, and for Elena Krasovskaya. And for the winner of the combined ranking category Youth B Female, also the trophy presented by Ariana Amici, chairman of the Italian Sport Climbing Federation. Rising of the flags and the Russian national anthem. Ancora Brooke Rabutu, winner Elena Krasovskaya, together on this podium of the combined ranking of the category.
Bernhard Rock, 2014 champion, and you've done it again here.
Yeah, yeah, it's a great feeling.
You looked comfortable up there. You said there were some tricky parts, but you were happy.
Yeah, of course I'm happy, because I didn't think I made it to the top, but in the end I did.
That's your last year as a junior. You move on to the senior competition now. Are you confident?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, why not?
Why not indeed. Congratulations, well done. Back-to-back World Youth Championships.
David Piccol-Ruaz. And for the winner of the combined ranking of the World Youth Championship 2015 category Youth B Male, the trophy. Stefano Miori presented it to David Piccol-Ruaz. And now, the rising of the flags and the Italian national anthem. Pagnofei, David Piccol-Ruaz, the podium of the combined ranking for the category Youth B Male. Thank you. And we are ready to welcome the category Youth A Female. On the third place, Italia, Asia Gollo. The bronze medal for this combined ranking podium of the category Youth E Female for Asia Gollo. On the second place, Slovenia, Janja Garnbret. And the winner, USA, Grace McKeon. The gold medal for Grace McKeon, winner of the combined ranking for this category. For this podium also, their little Biartino, our mascot, presented by Stefano Miori, representing the town of Arco, hosting this important international event, this fantastic 9 days of climbing. And for Grace McKeon, also the trophy for the winner of the combined ranking category Youth Female, presented by Ariano Amici, chairman of the Italian Climbing Federation. And now, the rising of the flags and the USA national anthem. Janja Garnbret and the winner for USA, Grace McKeon, together on the first step of the podium. Okay, thank you. Now we welcome the winner of the combined ranking for the category Youth A Male. The third place, the bronze medal goes to Anselm Oberdorf, Germany. Marco Maria Scolaris as chairman of the International Sport Climbing Federation, awarding also this category with the medals. Second place, France, Hugo Parmentier. And the winner of the combined ranking for category Youth A Male, Ecuador, Carlos Graña. Gold medal for Carlos Graña. And the compliments of Marco Maria Scolaris. And now our mascot Stino, presented by Giorgio Torgler, chairman of the regional delegation of the Olympic Committee. For Anselm Oberdorfer, for Hugo Parmentier, and for Carlos Graña. And for the winner of the combined ranking for category Youth A Male, also the trophy, handed over by Maria Luisa Tavernini, representative of the municipality of Arco. And now, the rising of the flags and the national anthem of Ecuador. Hugo Parmentier, Carlos Graña, Ecuador. Thank you. The next awarding ceremony for the combined ranking of the category Female Junior. On the third place, USA, Kyra Condi. Presenting the medals, Marco Maria Scolaris for the IFSC. On the second place, Austria, Jessica Pilz. And the winner of the combined ranking of the World Youth Championship 2015, category Female Junior, Serbia, Stasia Gejo. The gold medal for Stasia Gejo. Ariana Amici, chairman of the Italian Sport Climbing Federation, presenting our mascot to Kyra Condi, to Jessica Pilz, And naturally to Stasha Geyo. For the winner of the combined rank in the category female junior, the trophy of the World Youth Championship 2015, handed over by Stefano Miori, representing the municipality of Arco. And now, the rising of the flags and the national anthem of Serbia. Conde USA, Jessica Pilz Austria, Stasha Geyo Serbia. That's the podium of the combined ranking of the World Youth Champion in 2015 for the category junior female. Thank you. And now the last award ceremony of the World Youth Championship 2015. And we are ready to welcome the podium for the combined ranking of the category male junior. On the third place of the combined ranking of the category male junior, Slovenia, Ance Peharc. On the second place, to be awarded with the silver medal, Germany, Moritz Hans. And the gold medal for the winner of the combined ranking for the category male junior, Austria, Matthias Erber. Gold medal for Matthias Erber. And also for the last podium on this Youth World Championship 2015, Tino the mascot. Stefano Miori presenting it to Ance Peharc, to Moritz Hans, and to Matthias Erber. And to Matthias Herber, the winner of the convened ranking of the category Male Junior of the World Youth Championship 2015, the trophy presented by Maria Luisa Tavernini, Town Councillor of Arco. And now, the rising of the flags and the Austrian national anthem. Hans Peharz, Moritz Hans, Matthias Herber, the convened ranking of the Male Junior category of the World Youth Championship 2015. Thank you. And now we are ready to pronounce the last word and to do the last act of this really fantastic World Youth Championship 2015, l'ultimo momento ufficiale, l'ultimo atto, le ultime parole di questo campionato del mondo giovanile 2015. The chairman of the International Federation of Sport Climbing, il presidente della Federazione Internazionale di Arrampicata Sportiva, Marco Maria Scolaris.
Grazie. I think that we have lived together one of the greatest events in the history of sport climbing. It was difficult, we knew it, because we saw many competitors and bouldering for the first time. Well, I think that we made it. But like all the beautiful things, then we have to go to the end of this fantastic experience. Before that, once again, I want to thank all the athletes who proved the quality of our beautiful sport that now is knocking at the door of the Olympic Games. I really hope for them that at the end of the month we could get the good news that you, youth of the world, could compete in Tokyo. Let's keep our fingers crossed. But this is more than a hope. Said that, I want to thank also the Italian Federation of Sport Climbing, FASI. I want to thank the city of Arco. I want to thank the organizing committee here in Arco. And I want to thank also those boys and girls with the white polo, with the white t-shirts, the volunteers. Thank you to you all. And now I declare the 2015 IFSC World Youth Championship closed. But history goes on. So now the flag is in the hands of the President of the Italian Federation and the representatives of the city of Arco. And now I have the honor and the pleasure to give the flag to the next host of the World Youth Championship in 2016, the People's Republic of China. Thank you, Italy. See you all in China next year. See you. Thank you.
And after the last word, the last official act, the handing over of the flag of the IFSC to the next organizer of the World Youth Championship. For us, another important moment. Another important date with climbing, with sport climbing, with the best climbers in the world. Starting at 9 o'clock, the Rockmaster Duel. So we invite you to stay with us and to enjoy this great moment of sport, of climbing, of show. At 9 o'clock, the Rockmaster Duel. Dopo le ultime parole, l'ultimo momento ufficiale con la consegna della bandiera della Federazione Internazionale di Arrampicata Sportiva ai prossimi
So from the picturesque and albeit wet and windy tonight, scenes here at Arco. Thank you very much for joining us here at the IFSC World Youth Championships 2015. A whole host of names that you're going to remember and take forward. We'll catch you next time.
Ci dicono qualcosa.